following program is intended for mature audiences.
Welcome to the Ordinary Guy Show. Each week, four friends sit down and shoot the shit. As the shenanigans begin, hilarity ensues as everything is caught on tape.
And now, broadcasting from a random table, it's time! What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Ordinary Guy Show.
How original.
Yes.
That's very original. I'm
This
John.
time.
This is Matt, Kevin, Frank. The original OGs are here. What's going on, guys?
Having a great day.
Yeah.
Great
the
week.
middle of Sunday, we're here.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah, we're a little late this week. We're recording another show. You hear we got family over. We got kids in the background. We got adults telling them to shh and wish them luck with that because that's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
good luck.
Yeah.
Herding cats.
Yeah, but it's all Kevin's fault that we are recording late today. He had life happen, and Kevin, tell us what you've been doing all weekend.
I was over at a hotel that this isn't going to be the Kevin Hates segment, but I went into a hotel thinking I was paying $76 a night, and I ended up paying over 100 and something a night because of $40 resort fees. But we had a good time. Had a lazy river. I floated. I thought I was going to go over there and just float and relax, but as we know, that never happens. You end
Not
up just
kids.
chasing kids. And my 5-year-old that just learned to swim probably 2 weeks ago thought, it would be good to say that she doesn't need help in a wave pool pretty much, So then you got that fight. I can do it. I can do it. No, you can't.
Did you ever think maybe that the hotel knew that you were Kevin from Kevin Hates Everything, and they said
I think
maybe
you guys
we can
called
get
ahead.
him. Maybe we can get him to talk about us on the show.
They're trying to make the podcast.
Yeah, they're trying to make
Any
the podcast.
publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Especially if your hotel is rhymes with Schmilton.
Well, here's the thing. So
Grape.
I had to drive from Key Largo up here and meet the family. And so I called ahead and I said, hey, I want to make sure I have adjoining rooms and whatever. And my wife's going to be checking in for me. Everything was supposed to be fine. I get there and I call Morgan. I'm like, hey, you guys here? She's like, yeah, we just got to the room. I'm like, okay, everything good? She's like, yeah, but they're not adjoining. First thing I
No.
thought in my head is the week I was gone in my hotel travels, I hear it just follows him. And it followed me. So,
But
they-
did you secretly go, yes?
well, I did get adjoining rooms after that, and they did give us $40 credit each room, and I didn't even ask for it. So,
So
that was
$40
nice.
covered like a
The
third
resort
of
fee that you're bitching about.
Yeah. So in other words, I paid and didn't, and
So they got you on the way out, though. They got you.
They did because they taxed you on it.
yep, pretty much that, and the usual pool bar drink, $13 to $16, and they got me.
That's criminal, to be honest with you. That really freaking is.
They just charge you and not even tell you, hey, that we're charging you. I'm sure it says somewhere in the fine print.
You're
but
dealing with your
you're not
kids
reading
all
that.
day long. You're like, look, we're at the
Free
pool.
drinks.
You're like,
Free drinks for parents.
Yeah.
or not like a cringe every time you go to order one, where it's like, I don't know what's worse, listen to my kids scream or the fact that I'm not going to buy this booze. You buy
Well,
the
that's when you
booze.
smuggle it. You fill up your flask.
We do, you got to smuggle it a little bit.
That's how Carnival Cruises has survived for a decade now. Is they're like, we're gonna make a kids camp and we're gonna make unlimited drinks and
For the
parents-
kids.
Yeah.
For the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's because I don't know if you guys have been on a Carnival compared to the other ones. They're not the nicest.
We just took a Carnival cruise.
I refuse to take a cruise, and Johnny here's trying to make me go.
You never been on one?
Nope.
They're pretty awesome.
I don't want to be stuck, man.
You
I
don't
felt
feel that way.
though.
at first. The
Here you go.
room sucks.
It's coming, guys. The Ordinary Guys podcast.
Booze cruise.
Show. Booze Cruise.
Yep.
We're going to rent 3 rooms.
Sign up now. First 5 to sign up only cost $25,000 because
There
we
you go.
gotta get
Yeah.
the whole boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to get right into this, though, with the topic that was talked about before we went on the air. Frank brought it up. I don't know if Frank wants me to discuss it or
Throwing
not.
everyone under the bus. That's what we talked
But-
about. John was throwing someone under the
We're
bus.
gonna
No.
nickname him the bus driver.
Frank was talking
Yes.
about gay porn.
Oh
Ah,
gosh.
I'm out.
Talking about dicks like
I'm
he
out.
does all the time.
Someone
Frank,
give us a hard out on this one.
Yeah.
do you want to talk? Do you want to go down the road?
So
and talk
John's
about
been
that?
doing keto. We have pork rinds here and chicken dip.
Yeah, and I'm on a low-calorie diet, and there's pork rinds and chicken and cheese.
We're not getting on that yet.
I
But
don't want to talk about gay porn
studies,
at all.
but listen to this.
Who
Studies,
No.
studies say, very smart people.
No.
Studies say that if you put 4 guys, which just happens to be 4 guys right here at the table, in a room, and force them to watch gay porn, one of them is bound to get a hard on.
We already know who that would be.
Frank would be so excited before he even started.
My thought on this is, let's just say we knew for a fact that this was going to happen. We had no way out of this. I would start beating off before I even started watching it, because here's my defense: it's already hard. If it's already hard, one of you 3 are gayer than me.
But that's weird because who knows if you're
You're beating
You're
off in
doing
front
it.
of 3 dudes.
and then on top of it, who knows if you're doing it because you know what's coming up. What are you thinking
That's
about
the
when
point
you're
is
doing
you can't
that?
prove it. But if we're sitting there,
They can't
and
force
30
you to open
minutes
your eyes.
in-
I would sit there with my eyes closed.
Like 30 minutes in, Matt just looks at us and he goes, "Sorry, guys."
I don't
No.
even like this topic.
I would lock eyes with you and make it as awkward as possible.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that'd be the worst.
Yeah, that's why we tried to steamroll this onto some other subjects besides gay porn.
But, yeah, but the other thing is did you really just Google this? Is that on your
this
search
was
history?
This is what Frank was talking about earlier. Remember?
Why
I
do
said
you
that
exactly?
before-
Why would you
I figured
believe
he
Frank
before
at
the
all?
show. He said that study. He read something that studies show.
I listened to
Says the
something.
guy that posts BuzzFeed links. I ain't listening
There's-
to any
well,
of your
look.
damn stats.
I'll look it up for personal reasons, and I'll post it to the.
No, please don't. How about that? Just don't.
What do you think would happen if we all had like our search history like up?
Displayed.
A lot of Game of Thrones, a
You
lot
know
of
what would be
wrestling
awesome
stuff.
is if we had like a live feed
I don't have a
on
search
the
history.
webpage,
Of what we're looking at.
just like a little box, and it just scrolls. It's like boo,
Tell John to get on that RSS feed.
boo. It is an RSS feed, isn't
There
it?
we go.
No.
We can yeah. that'd
Mine would be
terrible.
nothing but sports and how to hack stuff.
Okay, so we would see it'd be like sports, porn, sports, Amazon.
No.
porn, sports.
Amazon, that's another one of mine. I'm at that all the time.
It's the worst.
Got to find a deal and then not buy it. Does anybody else put a whole bunch of stuff in their cart and then just delete it?
They made a price
Make a
check list
list.
for that.
Yeah.
Yep, look into it. Price check list, right? Gives you history on the prices too,
Yeah.
so you can see the trend and if it's ever gonna get that low.
That's
again.
honey. It's an add-on.
No, but Amazon does it right from their
Amazon
shopping
does it
cart.
too.
Oh, they do it now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I have a list. I just put things in my list, like things like my wish list type of thing that I'd like to have.
I
You
got
know
a
what
public
mine-
wish list.
I'll
You
be
guys
back.
wanna
My
just search
dumbass
them?
is eating without a drink over here dying.
What are you drinking?
I don't know yet. You want something?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever you bring me.
Oh, shit.
But I'll
Hey,
tell you this.
You know what to bring them. You know what to do.
Oh, I don't want garlic ice.
You know what to do.
I don't like that look that went between the two of them.
So, the other thing that happens to me a lot with Amazon is my wife will look at stuff and throw it in the cart, and then me when if you have stuff in the cart and you turn on one-click buying, you just buy whatever's in the cart.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many times I bought Morgan stuff she was just looking at, right? And then it shows up at the door. She's like, "Oh, that's nice. I got
Thanks,
this."
sweetie.
Yeah. So I've gotten into a habit now. I check first, but for a while I was buying like whatever she happened to look at, and no one can hear me because the garlic
That
ice.
ice was so loud.
It is so loud.
These microphones for cheap microphones, they pick up a lot of sound.
Do we still have a link so people can buy stuff through us and we get like nothing?
Well, we were working on putting on link through Google because that was what we needed to have for the YouTube stuff and all that, and Google declined our link request.
Why?
I don't know. It said the webpage had not enough content,
Well, I believe in that.
which, it's a new website, but it had information and had content and had stuff like that.
That's another thing is we need to reach out and see what people want to see on our website
Well, I'm actually going to redesign the website
for
because
the 8th time.
well, I'm just not happy with how it turned out. I was rushing to get something up because we have already started the show. I need a place for people to see and listen to the show. So now it's going to have a section where we post our topics that we talk about throughout the week in there, and then also you know, the
That'll be
listen
cool,
and the
but you
views.
know, whatever
Need
you
polls.
do, we're not going to like it. It could be the best website in the
Oh
world.
yeah, you guys don't like nothing. We're working on shirts right now, and I've made a couple of designs. And the guys that don't provide any design ideas
That's me.
are the first ones to say, "Oh, I don't like it." I know when they don't like it when they say, "Cool."
I said sweet.
I said not bad.
I didn't. I kind of liked it.
I like it too.
But we're gonna have a T-shirt come out here soon, and hopefully you guys will all enjoy how it looks and purchase it and help support the crew here.
I think we should look like NASCAR drivers, and people just pay us to put stuff on our shirt. And it doesn't matter what it is. It can be a logo. It could be like Frank's gay. It could be whatever. But I think that'd be pretty cool is to make a design. You pay whatever. You know, we'll talk about it later.
A bunch of company
But you
shirts.
make our shirt.
You pay, we wear.
Yeah. I want to get the 27 listeners we have, which, by the way, is up from 3.5.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think it's 3.5.
They're just making fake accounts for us.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's we're the 3.5 actually.
I personally have 3 different subscriptions in there.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh
My
my
8-year-old
God.
daughter subscribed.
That's an idea. I don't have my kids. My kids have YouTube accounts, and they're not even fans of ours.
There you go. I literally look. Blake was literally watching one of the episodes. He was watching the hot dog eating contest.
That's a good one.
I just walked in. He's watching it.
I mean, you can't really say anything about him watching it either because he was there.
Yeah. He's there. It's absolutely. It's fine. Plus, it wasn't bad.
Was it? I don't know.
No, just the contest. Whatever. The 7 minutes of Kevin shoving hot dogs down his gullet.
Spitting all over me.
It's the
10
worst.
hot dogs. 10. What?
10 gray hot dogs.
Ugh.
I didn't get sick.
Well, listen. Another topic is that, and Kevin's gonna love this one. The NFL is back. Training camp.
The kneelers.
Training camp has returned.
We'll perk Matt up for this subject.
Oh, yeah. I have given up on football altogether
Tell us.
because so you make how much? Okay. Imagine being just like on the practice squad. What do they make? Like $500,000 a
No,
year.
a practice squad player
It's
is
under
only going to
100K.
make like a 75.
But
Yeah.
it's still good money for just a couple months a year.
Plus
Okay.
the benefits.
Right. There's
Plus,
people
yeah.
out there doing roofing, breaking their back, making the same money. Then you got the guys that make millions and want to cry about equal treatment.
No, it's not that. It's if I went into my work today and just kneeled for no reason, they would fire me. I can assure you they would fire me if
Okay.
I wasn't doing
But my
job.
thing is, you make millions of dollars. Go help them. Get off your knee and stop trying to make us do something and go help them. Look at Akon. Akon hasn't said a word, and he's like building a damn his own country in Africa.
Didn't he make like a whole bunch of solar banks and get
Yeah.
a whole bunch of people electric?
Yep.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want anything for it. He's just like, I'm trying to help him out. Who would have thought? And then you got millionaires sitting there crying.
But that's the world we live in today. Bitch about it today and do nothing about it later.
Bitch about it on the internet.
Yeah.
You want to know why this is going on?
Let's hear it.
Millennials.
Yeah.
It's fucking millennials. And in sports, especially
We are
sports,
millennials.
Yeah,
I
you're
know
the
we're
millennials.
millennials.
He's not.
No.
We
I
are.
thought they changed it.
It's
No,
after. It's
no.
after millennials.
80 to 86 was like zennials or something, wasn't it?
No.
Google it.
It's even, I want to say like 80, like 81 to 90s is millennial. It's a really freaking wide gap. But the problem is the later millennials, like 90 and on, were born fucking hipsters. They were born hipsters. And now they're the ones.
Generation Z is what we're dealing with.
What's
Generation Z.
Generation Z.
That's
Which
who.
they define as people born from the mid 1990s to the early
Yes.
2000s.
And
Well-
those, so here's the deal: is sports. There's a lot less older people playing sports for
Because
obvious
they
reasons.
don't make
They
it.
can't do it. But if you look, and I could probably name football players in the last 10 years that have retired, and you just watch like the culture shift, right? How do you think Jason Taylor would be acting right now?
Not like that.
Well, here's the other thing: is when did becoming a jock was like not cool? Like they don't think being a jock is cool. Being a jock was pretty cool back in our day.
Yeah.
You played sports, that was cool.
Well, the problem was back in the day, without social media, they can get away with all the cool things that made it being a jock. Now they're all over the internet.
Well, now it's toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
You want to hear something crazy? When we were in high school, because me and Matt went to THS, you went to Astronaut, but we didn't have lockers, and so the boosters for the men's, sports whatever, saved up to get lockers, And that was during the time of if you did this for this side, you had to do this for this side for the girls as well. Well, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything for boosters. They wouldn't let us build lockers, so we had to change in the parking lot of our high school. Now, if you play baseball, you wear a cup, so you can use your imagination of what you're having to do in the high school parking lot. Because the football players,
And nowadays, I
Had the
do
locker
that and I
room.
get in trouble.
yeah. But it was crazy. I mean, to think about that, but I don't know. I see the kids that are cool now, and it's like the ones that take pictures on Instagram all the time. It's like, look at me flip my hair. And that's the boys. That's not even the
Instagram
girls.
famous.
Yeah.
Well, now the problem is everybody feels like so entitled,
Entitled,
but it is just it is a job, and you don't have to work for your current employer, right? You have the opportunity to find a new job. They could do that if they want to.
Yeah,
Tim
but
Tebow said, "Screw you! I'm just gonna work for the Major League Baseball."
Well, they kind of said screw you to Tim Tebow.
They did.
You're not good enough.
But he's
So,
got God on his side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Amen.
He does. Amen, brother. Testify.
well, and you know what? It's easy to say I'm not going to watch the NFL because I am a Dolphins fan, and they are terrible.
Yeah.
And John's easily said that too as well because he's
He's
a
a
Bucks,
Bucks
fan.
fan.
Yeah, but I watch still. I mean, I'm interested in the NFL. Listen, if they want to kneel, I don't care. That's your prerogative. You kneel. It's not affecting me. But my team has maybe only one or two players that are outspoken. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones just came out this
Lay
week
down the law.
and basically laid down the law and said, "We're the Dallas Cowboys. We're America's team, and we will not kneel."
Well, remember what they did when they kneeled, but they didn't do it during the anthem.
Right.
And they still got the press coverage.
Right.
And see, I thought that was totally fine. I am not against change. I am not against enlightening.
What are they
people
trying to
on
change?
what's going on.
What are they trying
Well-
to change?
Real quick before I
You
forget.
can't. Half of them couldn't answer that question.
No.
Half of them couldn't.
Well, before I forget, they gave Jerry Jones a lot of crap because I get it. He's done things in the past that don't paint him in the best light. But at the same time, he's running a business and he's trying to make it a top-notch organization. So he says, I've got no problem with what you do. Do it. Don't do it here when we're on national TV, right? Now, what's the difference between that and the Yankees making their players shave?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm being dead honest. Like, what's the difference between you can grow a full beard on the Nationals? The
But
Yankees
Red
say
Sox.
you're
But that
completely
comes
clean.
up to the point now to where they're bringing up old shit every which way to try and drag people through the mud, like
Right.
all the comedians.
Redskins name. All
That's
that
what I'm saying. Yeah, all
Yeah.
this stuff is like coming back up.
Redskins have been.
I get
a
it.
football
We're a
team
nation
for-
that was built on being assholes to other people.
Well, like the Roseanne thing.
We're the best.
The Roseanne thing, I agree was, she shouldn't have said what she said. But then again, Whoopi Goldberg should be fired too.
No,
Have you
it's
heard-
a comedian. A comedian is a
Have you heard Roseanne's latest freak out?
Oh, dude,
No.
comedians are in a real bad spot.
exactly. They're not allowed to be funny anymore.
not allowed to be funny.
We grew up with like Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and like Arsenio Hall, and it's like no one was safe. They were making fun of white people,
Oh,
black
if
people,
you-
Mexicans.
if
Does
you
anybody
listen-
enjoy white jokes as much as I do?
They're amazing.
They're
It's
all
something-
funny.
If you listen to old Eddie Murphy,
They would string him up so fast now.
yeah, they would string him up. It would be ridiculous. They would, anybody who's making the same. It doesn't matter who it is, right? But imagine if you had Eddie Murphy and like even Seinfeld. Some of the stuff that came out of his mouth, hated on Jews. I mean, look, he's Jewish, so
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you could, I guess,
It
you
was
could
still
do it,
funny.
right?
It's still funny. I will
absolutely
still
hilarious.
laugh at it.
Absolutely hilarious. But if they had that on TV right now, if there's a network that played that,
Sorry.
always, it's
doing?
guaranteed.
What's he doing?
Guaranteed that
So-
John likes to test sound effects
No.
on live recordings.
I wanted
Yeah.
to play Roseanne's latest freak out.
Who was she on when this happened?
She was doing her own thing for her own YouTube.
And she's got black people sticking up for her too.
Well,
Well, I think
Well,
freedom
she
of
was
speech
on
is a big
Ambien.
thing. I
she's
don't
definitely
agree.
showing that she's on something.
Yeah, she's
Here,
on something.
listen to this clip.
I'm trying to talk about Iran. I'm trying to talk about Valerie Jarrett wrote the Iran deal.
I know, but you've told me this 300 times. Do you know that a...
That's what my tweet was about.
I know, you've explained this literally 300 times.
I thought the bitch was white. God damn it! I thought the bitch was white.
The only time I ever got that mad is when the Indians dropped a 3-0 lead in the World Series.
That
Goodness
is amazing.
gracious.
You could
But
tell
here's
she's
the
on
thing.
something.
sure.
I can't sit here and say that she should not have been fired for what she did if I don't believe that the NFL players should be having to stand.
I think that you're on to
work
it
for
to an
somebody.
extent. You do work for somebody, but there's also a difference between like that's her show and brand. The network I get has the right to kick her, and I don't know what the deal is with the copyrights to the show. I don't, but let's just say it's her
She
show.
signed it over.
She signed it over. Okay, so then
it's
you're
not
right.
hers.
If she signed it over,
If they
then
want
it's
to let her go
100% right.
because they don't like the fact that she has, I don't know what color eyes she has, but if they want to,
Right. But I
Go
was under
on.
the impression it was her
And
show.
you're
and the network
always
booted
a
her.
representative of your business.
Sure. And
So-
if that's how she wants to represent her business, then she has the people have the right to choose whether they listen to her. So she's picking her
but
audience.
I do believe it's
right?
becoming a very slippery slope when comedians get fired for what they say.
Oh yeah.
Because Whoopi, I don't believe, should be fired for spitting on the lady. I don't think Roseanne should be fired because they knew what they were getting when they got Roseanne. They knew they were getting that crazy lady on YouTube.
Well, that's why they gave her the show, because she
But the-
talked about Trump
So-
and that she was a Trump supporter, and that's why they gave her the show.
So yeah, exactly, because they wanted that on the
wanted
network.
Crazy
They
Roseanne,
wanted
yeah.
Crazy Roseanne. They wanted controversy. Because guess what? You know who's watching Roseanne? People who hate Trump.
Yeah.
Because they want to see what she's
What
going to
she's
say.
gonna say
They
next.
want to
Right?
see what happened.
The same people that will listen to a Howard Stern show.
And they
They
hate
hate
Howard,
him.
and they're
They hate
offended by
him.
everything he says.
I want to listen to see what he'll say next. You know.
I agree.
Is that where half of our listeners come from?
Howard?
People that hate Frank.
Oh, people want.
Hey, Kevin, mostly.
How many people do you think are listening to us and just waiting
Nobody.
to destroy us on something?
That's
That's what I'm
okay.
saying. Like, if we have 10 people watching us, I bet 2 of them hoping to destroy us at some point.
That's okay, because we're just doing it for fun.
Yeah, that's on fine. Whatever. I get it.
Somebody's getting beaten in the back.
I get it.
Don't
But
say that.
Call the
Not
If me. you're-
all the cops.
if you're watching,
He's crying with tears of joy. He's so happy. They
if
just
you're
turned
watching a comedy
cartoons
special
on.
and the comedian gets into the little story, right? They're building up for you. How much of that do you actually believe?
Yeah.
Right? How much of that do you actually believe, or how much of that's painting
I
a
don't believe
picture so
any
they
of
can
it.
get you with the punchline?
I don't believe anything.
So when a comedian is out in public and he decides he's going to rip something live in front of millions of people and hope it's funny, and next thing you know, the dude's getting dropped from a show or dropped from a network, like you said, a
Well, that
comedian,
like I was talking
I'm
about,
not going to believe anything that comes from a comedian.
they're digging up old skits and stuff, trying to
That's
persecute
wrong.
people,
Yeah, that's wrong.
and it's like,
Well, it's just
let it
it's
be.
Just like Trump stuff. They've dug up stuff from when he was on Howard. They dug up stuff from when he was doing his own show. The Billy Bush stuff was old. I mean, can you imagine the tape they had to dig through to find that hot mic segment of him and Billy Bush
oh, that was deep.
in the thing, in the
Who's Billy Bush?
in the RV when he says grab him by the pee.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
Well,
related to
Frank-
GW, but he was like a TV personality. That's where the grab.
Entertainment Tonight.
What's that?
Entertainment Tonight. He was the
Entertainment
host of,
Tonight.
yeah.
But that's where the grab him in the
Grab him by the pee.
grab him
Yeah.
grab him by the pussy.
Frank, here's
Like
something.
a bowling ball.
Frank said something I want to bring up, though. He said he wouldn't trust a comedian. Well, think about all the comedic government, so to speak, political shows, right? So you've got all these different people like Bill Maher, who is a comedian, and then you have Trevor Noah, who's a comedian. You have the other.
he's a piece of
These
shit.
are all comedians. Why are we so stupid as a society
To
to
believe
listen to
them.
these people that
That's
are
where people are
comedians?
getting their news.
They want
Roseanne,
ratings. They want
Whoopi.
ratings.
Roseanne
Yeah, the
was
View.
a comedian.
Like I'm not
Whoopi
going to
was a
listen to her
comedian.
about that.
No, but
Ellen was a
you guys
comedian.
are making the same point.
I get my news from Charlie Sheen now.
But that's
That's
what
a
I'm
good
saying.
source.
So if you're gonna get, a lot of people watch, like even Fallon, right? Fallon, he's gonna say
He made
what
the worst
people-
movie ever.
He's gonna say what
Taxi.
people want to hear. You want people to tune back in, right? We're gonna say things at times on here that people are gonna want to hear, but we're also gonna tell people to go.
This goes back to last week's fake news part. We were talking about fake news and how you hate fake news.
Yeah.
This goes back to it.
Well, there's just a lack of credible sources these days. There are some.
Because everybody's gunning for money. Because think about what works on Facebook. You see this elaborate headline, clickbait. Everything's clickbait now. Because who do we talk about right now in this podcast? We talk about CNN and we talk about Fox. Those are the two most polarized
Well,
units of what we could listen to, and they're the ones throwing out the clickbait.
and to clickbait everybody, I'm going to post the topic today. Episode 6. Frank
Spit it out.
no showed. And they're clickbait because he'll be here.
Yeah.
Frank quits the show.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So listen. Are we gonna go down the? We're gonna go down the clickbait hole for a second. All right.
Yeah.
There's one person here who's gonna fully agree with me. Right. If I click on a specific porn title, I want that video. I want the freaking video. I'm sitting here waiting for like
all
a
in the title.
gangbang, and it's just a girl in front of a camera by herself, and I'm sitting here just
The
at
girl
some
never
point.
showed.
At some point,
The girl didn't show up. Was this when you realized that you would lose the gay, the gay
Yeah.
video contest?
yeah, I'm like, hey, dude bangs really hot girl, and there's just kind of dude for a while, and I'm wondering at what point. Next thing you know, you're 5 minutes deep, and here comes all the advertising.
5 knuckles deep for 5 minutes.
You're 5 knuckles deep, and then here comes all the advertising for the next week. Right? For the next week, it's watch this gay video.
Well, talking about fucking yourself, did you not see this week? I saw a big headline this week. Papa John sues Papa John.
Everywhere. It was
So-
amazing. No,
so-
Papa John sues Papa John's.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it was
So
amazing.
Didn't he say the N word on a call?
he was on an
You're-
interview. That
You're
was,
worse than John.
Yeah, he was on an interview that was supposed to
He was
rebuild
quoting
his,
something that was said.
right. But
He
he
didn't even say it derogatory.
But this whole interview was to rebuild his image.
Right.
And it
Which
He
is
says
the
it again.
irony of it.
Totally went backwards. So
Well, wait a second. So he was telling a secondhand account, or he was telling about when he did that?
I'm gonna try to paint it the easiest way possible.
Without saying, you should say it.
So he was trying to rebuild his image from the whole NFL stance. How he was saying that NFL is hurting his ratings because of the kneeling down thing, right?
Right.
So on a call with a marketing firm, he says, "I should be able." I'm paraphrasing this, people.
Use N.
I should be able to get out of this if Colonel Sanders was able to use the N-word.
Are we talking about the original Colonel Sanders? Because he was born in 1712 or something.
He's talking about publicity image. The person who played Colonel Sanders.
In one of the goofy commercials that makes me angry.
We're talking about.
They
back
were good.
in
Like
the, day,
the Jim Gaffigan one.
I don't like him.
Back in the day, the original Colonel Sanders on TV used the N-word in public and still.
I'm pretty
like,
sure he
had a
was
job.
110 years old by now, so it wasn't like.
It doesn't
People
matter.
were
He's
awful.
talking about in the past.
Yeah.
He's saying in the
I
past.
kind of get it now, though.
Somebody was able to say that word and they were fine.
Like
I should be fine.
Every
with this.
rapper that says it a million times
Well,
in every shitty
like-
song nowadays.
I'm not even gonna get on that topic because we're.
Is
gonna
there a
open up
huge
can of
outcry
worms.
about this?
Yeah,
Like
No,
people are after
no.
Papa John?
no, he stepped down.
he stepped down.
He
He
stepped
stepped
down.
down as
The face of the
CEO.
company?
He stepped down as CEO and stayed on
He's
the
no longer
board.
Papa.
Right. He stayed on his on the board, but not as CEO.
But he
And-
still owns, I think, 25%.
I thought it was more like 30.
It's around, yeah,
But
it's around
It's
that,
around there. It's less than 50%.
25, 30.
But
Huge
the
fucking
idea
difference.
is he stepped off
upper.
as CEO so he could stay on the board, and then while on the board, this stuff blew up, and he was trying to save his pocket. Right? He owns shares of this company. He tries to save his pocket, so he's like, "All
Why?
right,
He's got a fucking sweet Camaro.
Where he goes, "All right, I'm stepping
He
out."
does.
What is he? What else do you need?
He gave
he
that
should
away.
He should grow a mullet
He gave
and
that
just
away.
rock it.
Yeah.
I would call and order Papa John's pizza and never pick it up.
Was it? But didn't he give that away? The whole marketing? Or the whole.
It was like a $10,000 Camaro. I'm sure he could get another one.
Well, I would be sad if Papa John's left because the garlic sauce is the best thing about
Do you
these.
see they sell it in 8 gallons
I
now?
saw somebody put it all over the whole pizza and try it like that.
So the moral of the
Wonderful.
story is don't
Garlic
ever
butter
name
sauce.
your company after yourself, because now, no matter what they do, rebranding, whatnot, because I'm pretty sure Hungry Howie the cartoon is never going to get in trouble.
Look, they said that they're never gonna rebrand it. They took a whole bunch of polls right away, and everyone
would
said
never.
the name's the name.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
You would
But
never
it'll always
survive.
be tainted now.
No, they're actually
Nah.
trying to say by publicly, like,
Well, I didn't even know about it.
shutting him out now that he's out and shutting him out now. They think it's gonna have stronger brand recognition
No.
because they won't tolerate
until
that.
Papa comes back, I won't order Papa John's pizza.
If Domino's can survive
I want to go down that road.
and all that, I don't order fucking Papa John's anyways.
Here's the deal, though,
Who orders
and
Papa
this was
John's?
part of the reason why they asked, "Are you going to stop ordering Papa John's?" And they were heavily on the no, because the deal is, it's like, you can call it whatever you want. I don't care for Pizza Hut, and I don't care for Domino's,
Okay.
and then the only other ones that are here.
But it was on a phone call. Was he in his office with a marketing person that he was hiring or was hired to do their job? that should never come out.
No, that's that marketing company. I would never want to work with that marketing company.
Exactly. I would blacklist that marketing company
it's got
because
nothing to do-
anything you say comes out.
Yeah, people listening, it's got nothing to do with the word he used or any opinions. It's literally saying that if you're working with somebody and something comes up in
John.
a private setting, it shouldn't be thrown under the bus by the company that you're working with. I think their reputation
John.
is screwed. Yeah, like John. Never tell John anything personal. You just don't. You know why? He doesn't care.
Well, and that's just the same thing. We'll go back to politics, but that's kind of what's happened with Trump with his attorney. Same thing. This
This
guy's.
might be too deep for me now.
I'm pretty sure we might have had a discussion about. I think Frank might be our liberal,
Yep.
but he
See,
won't.
I love how you say that.
Hey, and that's okay. If Frank wants to be a liberal,
That's okay. We'll still love him.
yeah, we still love him because
We'll give him a safe space.
because it needs to be where you can have open conversation about other opinions and stuff like that. We need to be able to have it, not where you're like this Antifa or wherever where
Or
you're only
skinhead
listening to
on the
whatever
other
you
side.
want. You're only listening to what you want, and you're saying what you want, and you're not listening to anybody else. Like I said, we have opinions. They have opinions.
Everyone
Great.
thinks the
Everybody's
world is like
entitled to
rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah, it is
And the
not.
people are going to shut you down left and right. It doesn't matter how you feel.
But I think there's idiots on both sides. Like I can't stand the Nazi morons or whatever they call themselves this week. I can't stand Antifa either. I typically just don't like stupid people. That's who I don't like. So,
That goes for all of us.
yeah.
All right, on a lighter subject. There was, Game of Thrones is one of my favorite shows. I don't know anybody else here watches Game of Thrones at all.
I love that show.
Yeah.
And are
What
we
is
the
your-
only two? Frank, you don't watch Game of Thrones?
Frank,
I do.
you know?
I watched the first few when Matt let me steal
I'm
his
trying
HBO.
to talk about Iran. I'm trying to talk about Valor.
Frank, no one cares what you say, evidently.
Always when I fucking talk.
It was both times it was you.
I was looking for this quote. I couldn't find it before we jumped ship on the whole liberal conservative thing. So part of talking about how they just need to be able to talk, and it's always, liberals only communicate with liberals, conservatives only communicate
Right.
with conservatives, and they'll find the first thing to argue about, and then they just run back to their sides,
Their safe space.
their safe space.
Both
But
sides.
I heard this on the Rogan podcast probably like 2 weeks ago, and I'm just quoting. I don't know who originally said this, but it says, if you're not a liberal at 25, you have no heart. And if you're not a conservative at 35, you have no brain.
That's so true, too, because when you're young, you have a very democratic mindset.
Sure.
And if you're not, that's because you were raised to be and have that thought set of being
Sure.
conservative.
thinking-
Because
like
everybody wants something
Bible
for free,
Belt.
but no, you just don't at that. You're naive. You don't realize
I'm gonna
that
show
you
my age.
can't have stuff for
I'm
free.
going to show my age a little bit, but I was happy when OJ got off. Now, looking back at it, I'm like, that motherfucker murdered somebody.
I was like in
You
a
know,
crib
two
when
people.
OJ got off.
Well, you should think about this. The voting age is 18, right? What's happening at 18? For the most part,
Yeah.
society is moving out of the house
Yeah.
or going off to
No,
college.
not
They're getting
anymore.
free. Missed the point.
They're
They're-
playing Call of Fortnite at 18.
They're playing
Hey, I
Fortnite. They're
wanna-
playing at like 13,
I want to ask what I feel
but they're
is an
becoming
important question.
liberated, right? They're liberal as crap.
How old were you when you moved out?
How old was I?
Yeah.
16, 15.
Jesus, really?
He's young.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was 23.
How old were you?
17, 18.
I was just turned 19. My point here is all of us moved pretty early compared to the new standard, and I wouldn't say we're like highly successful, but we're successful. So I wonder if there's a correlation with that.
I say in your 20s. I think I moved out at a good age. I was buying a house. I was I was in a relationship. I was ready to move out. Then I had a career going for me. So I thought that was the time to move out. My mom was totally against it because she wanted me to
I was
live
about to
there
say
forever.
your Italian mother's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
Johnny,
I
stay
think your
home,
reason
Johnny.
for moving out is what you should really focus on, not how
Right.
old you were,
Yeah.
right? So, for example, if you didn't move out because you were sitting there eating Cheetos, playing video
Yeah,
games,
that's a
not
bad
doing
age.
anything, that's different,
Nah,
right?
the meatloaf.
But now, I think now you have, so for example, like the younger age of our parents' generations, their kids are going to college or, in college or whatever the deal is, and they're understanding things that their parents really didn't. Their parents were like, look, this is a working society. You turn 18, you work, you get the hell out of the house, whatever the deal is. But now they're like, look, if you can stay home, I can save a lot of money for these first couple years while you're in school till you figure it out. You get what I'm trying to say? We're looking at things that are a little bit more realistic. And then the only problem is when these people start having kids, they're going to be like, no, just buy a freaking duplex.
Hard times create strong men create easy times creates weak men. And that's what I see it, because our grandparents didn't have it easy.
Right.
And then, like, our parents.
Well, they created an easy time for our parents.
Right.
I wouldn't say our parents had it easy.
No.
Not like we had it easy.
No, but that's
We're the
it's
problem.
getting-
But that's the thing is you have our parents. You're not talking about just literally next age group. You need a collective sample. So there's going to be generations. So our grandparents made easy times for our parents trailing off into us. We're making weak children.
We're not making anything is the problem. The generations of making and producing and making something
coming back.
great
Well, I'm
is
talking
gone.
about
Making America great
literally
again.
your genes squirting out of your nutsack is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm not talking about physically making anything. I'm saying we're making the times easy for our kids. So our kids are going to, in theory, be raised weak. And next thing you know, it's going to create a hard time.
But this goes full circle back to who people see as mentors. Like, there's dumb enough people that are sending this Kardashian girl money to try to make her a billionaire. How stupid has this society become? Like, we looked at Steve Jobs. We looked at Bill Gates. We looked at people that founded something great, or at least I did.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know that we as a collective did, like our generation. I don't think our collective looked at Steve Jobs or Bill Gates as much as they looked at Microsoft and Apple, if you get what I'm saying. So my
But
dad...
still, it wasn't somebody that became famous off of a sister sex tape.
No, that's what I'm saying.
One
but so, like,
dude.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is
That
our
whole-
generation is the weak like we are feeding the Kardashians, right? Like our parents, I don't,
Not my generation.
well, we do have a
John's
little
old
bit
as
of
shit.
And here's the comeback, by the way, because I've asked. I'm like, what's the deal? Why do you like this Kardashian girl so much? Like, well, she created a line of cosmetics for herself. She never created a cosmetic in her life.
No,
she
had
had
partnered with a
right.
freaking company that
She
makes
had somebody
cosmetics.
come to her and say, I don't know a whole lot of the brands, but let's say Elf. Elf wants to make a line for your
know,
stuff,
you
but
talk-
she never made anything.
You talk about the Kardashians, but listen, it's business. And the Kardashians' mom, Kris, is a master.
Which mom?
The new mom.
Kris, the one that's hands aren't the size of Akeem Olajuwon's.
If you didn't get that, I feel sorry for you.
So Kris Jenner is probably a master, I guess, promoter.
Yeah,
And,
gold digger.
And she
Master gold digger.
not only does
No,
she
she's great at
help her
business.
kids with business, but who do you think is leaking all this stuff to TMZs
Her.
and the blast? It's her. It's her and her minions.
They call them on themselves.
Yeah, they call
They've
'em on
already. That's
themselves.
been exposed.
Yep.
You know what,
Anytime
though?
they're like, I'm looking fresh from going out to the club. Hey, TMZ, I heard so and so is gonna be there, and they're like, hop out, like, what up?
Something I learned a long time ago.
I mean, is that if you're looking at it on a business standpoint and a branding standpoint, is it not like
It's
it's genius?
It's good business.
in a
It's
business,
phenomenal business.
In business like that, good news,
But
bad
see,
news.
she's-
It doesn't matter.
It's
It
all
doesn't
great
matter. It's
news.
clicks.
As long as you're in the news.
They are clicks.
But
She-
here, who we're talking about? We're talking about the oldest generation. We're not talking about the young one. The young
I
one's
don't even
not
know
doing
what she
that.
does anymore.
No, but that's
sure
what I'm
she got
saying.
naked
That's what
somewhere
I'm saying.
and
Like,
then-
so even
Who,
so
uh,
that generation,
Which one?
they're literally living off of
Coattails.
I don't know. either.
coattails.
Oh, Kim does.
That's it. So like
Got
we
Kanye.
we may not have been the weakest of the bunch, just like our parents weren't. We're a little bit weaker than our parents. The next generation's a little bit weaker than us. And I'm telling you, by the time these coattail riders are literally just running everything, just because they have to, age-wise.
Did they boot Kanye out?
No, he's
Is he
he's
still in there?
He's still.
Which
in
one
there.
is he with?
He's with Kim.
Kim.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So he's with the older, like the one.
Even
If
though
he was
he-
with any of the other ones, he's out.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
Scott out. Like the what's the one that had Lamar Odom out? Like,
Hey guys,
but if you're with Kim, you're good because
Hey, guys.
she's the money man.
we just spent like 5 minutes talking about the Kardashians.
Yeah.
But we don't know shit.
That's
But
when
what do we
jumped-
know?
Well, what
jumped
do
the
we
shark.
know?
We've jumped the shark. Can we get back to my Game of Thrones story?
Yes, let's
Yeah.
get back to Game of Thrones.
All right. So
Fucking mountains.
So you can download this application. It's called. Let's see.
Wouldn't you have that ready if you're going to talk about it?
Well, I didn't want it to play. It's called Acapella. Okay. It's an app.
How is acapella have anything to do with Game of Thrones?
I don't freaking know, but I'm downloading.
It's an app that you can get online on Google Game Store or Play Store or whatever, and Apple Store.
The App Store?
App Store. So, anyways, this kid recorded his This kid recorded his the Game of Thrones intro in acapella. Here it is.
What the fuck do you watch, man?
Sounds like it to me.
While Frank is watching gay porn, this is what John's watching.
This is worse.
Yeah, it might be.
For real.
Yeah.
That you guys don't think that sounds like the Game of Thrones
At least the
theme?
porn comes to an end.
God, that is horrible. Why would you even waste? I feel like you owe me that time back.
That sounds like the Game of Thrones theme to me, though. I mean, the kid did a good job.
Yeah, how old was the kid?
Oh, he's a young kid.
How young is young?
I mean,
Why is he watching Game of Thrones?
I don't know.
Boom.
See?
Bad parenting.
Bad
Millennials.
parenting.
Boom. Fuck out of here with that, John.
Good question there.
I'm kind of
Down
mad at
there.
the Game of Thrones because we've been waiting far too long for this season.
Yes, we have. We have been. I've watched.
They have people
YouTube.
producing it like John, fucking everything up.
I've watched YouTube clip over YouTube clip, and
You're that
I
into
am
this?
that into it. Yeah, I know everything about
He
Game of
lives
Thrones.
on YouTube.
Really?
I haven't watched
I get
since
bored
Jon
on
Snow
YouTube.
died.
Yeah, well, he's back alive.
Get the fuck out of here.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert!
Really?
He's the king of the North.
But how did
Because
I
of
forget
the
how he
Red
even
Witch of
died?
the West.
White Walker stabbed him or something.
No,
right?
well, his own guy stabbed him, and he came back to life.
God, you just gave John the biggest hard on.
Yeah.
I can feel Frank in on shit he
Yeah.
hasn't seen.
And then he befriends them because he's that good of a guy.
Have you,
The people that
have
stabbed
you seen the
him.
Family
He
Guy
hangs them.
episode
No,
where
he
they
hangs them.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
just
didn't think
stabbed
You're right.
He hangs them.
They had the Family Guy episode where they were talking, and somehow the Game of Thrones popped up, and it's like a 30-second thing where it's just like, oh, was it when they killed everybody at the wedding, or is it when they just
The red
fucking
wedding.
spoiler alert after
the
spoiler
best.
alert after spoiler alert?
That-
People get so mad on the internet
So
over
fucking
spoilers.
mad.
I mean,
know. And they'll get mad at a spoiler from a year ago, like a
Oh,
movie that
dude.
was out a year ago.
Speaking of spoiler alerts, me and Matt have still not watched that new Marvel movie where everybody turns into particles and whatnot.
I know.
Because,
What is it, Thanos or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't
Avengers.
seen it.
and I've heard everything
Haven't seen
about
it
it. And we're sitting here hanging
We
out.
see all the shit of memes on the internet.
Like,
We're
we
like,
have
oh,
to
that
watch
looks
that.
cool. And it's fuck, that's about.
I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp.
How was that?
Awesome.
Really?
I saw
Yeah.
Incredibles too.
That was good too.
Pretty awesome.
How about all the Marvel movies that aren't the big names like Ant-Man, the first one? I watched it thinking this is going to be dumb. It was one of my favorite ones. And then, what's the other one? Guardians of the Galaxy? Like, I remember when that was coming out, everybody's like, why are we going to watch this?
I
And
was
then
told
it was the best one.
that some of those that are not as popular that didn't, I guess, die off in the new one because I haven't seen it. Marvel's trying to create a new generation stuff
Netflix,
that
dude.
not
Marvel
already.
hit Netflix so hard.
Well, that's the thing is they're trying to find stuff that isn't already done. So right now they're bringing all this stuff back, right? So
Yeah,
all
they like
these Iron Man-
remade Spider-Man. Like,
They're-
he's nothing what
They're
we grew up
trying to
with.
create new character lines so that for the next 10 years it's going to be like a new group of superheroes. I get what they're doing.
Does anybody watch the DC stuff? It makes
Hell
me
no,
want
it's
to.
horrible.
Dude,
No.
it's bad.
How is there such a how is there
It's
such
Disney.
a disparity between freaking Marvel
Dude,
and
You got
Sucks.
Disney versus the world. Disney is awesome at what they do.
they really are.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is because they own that whole thing. And how's that work out that Disney owns Marvel, but yet Marvel is at Universal Studios? So,
No clue.
so in other words, Disney is making money off people going to Universal Studios. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. They've got the world wrapped up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they own my drink.
But the idea behind that too is if you think about it, they probably had well, I guess this is the thing that absolutely bothers me. They probably had a hell of a lot of money to make the Justice League movie, right? I
It
mean,
was so bad.
you can't imagine
Didn't
like
they make Ben Affleck's Batman now?
Yeah, but
Dude, that was the end of it right
even
there.
that aside,
I
right?
didn't think he did that bad of a job, to be honest with you.
They put him in. He drove a Jeep, the shittiest Jeep ever made.
well,
Yeah.
it's definitely not the
Was it
Dark Knight
Frank's Jeep?
Batman.
Christian Bale drove a fucking Lambo, and they put him in a fucking Jeep Renegade.
And it's definitely not the Dark Knight Batman.
No.
I mean, look at Joker.
point being,
look how
they
they
had
ruined Joker.
He's not going to be. So they're doing a Joker movie, and they said they're not
Joaquin
using
Phoenix
him.
is still not a good Joaquin Phoenix they picked.
What?
And, yes,
No.
for the new Joker movie.
Wasn't Joaquin Phoenix the one that did the one about the country singer guy?
He was, yeah.
Have you ever
Johnny
watched
Cash?
the biography about him?
No.
This is going to sound like I'm lying.
Oh, but he was crazy.
His friend poops in his mouth on that. Swear to God.
He did a lot of things for
Joaquin.
shock value for that documentary, though.
I don't care about shock value. Nobody's pooping in my mouth.
But he just doesn't look like a Joker to me.
Yeah, but don't you think the Joker should be somebody like?
You watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
You said, okay, there's a character on there called Ramsay Bolton. He would have been perfect.
Yeah,
for-
only because
for
of the
the Joker.
character that he created, though.
Right.
If you're going visual, like a young Christopher Walken,
Well,
like
yeah.
that's the Joker.
Will
is-
Dafoe?
Dude, Jack was the best Joker. No?
No.
No.
No way.
Who was the best Joker?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Oh, he was dark and twisted. The
No.
Joker needs to be somebody who looks like a freaking cartoon character.
No way.
Jack Nicholson.
What about like Tony Hinchcliffe? You guys know Tony Hinchcliffe, the comedian?
No.
If you look at Tony Hinchcliffe, he looks like the Joker. You know
Well-
Tony Hinchcliffe, don't you?
I don't know names.
All right, keep talking. I'll
So
find
you
it.
don't like
what's
Heath
his
Ledger
name?
I do.
Joker?
I
Oh.
do.
Well,
I think he was a
I
great
think-
actor. I just think that the Joker itself was always like
No, I think he did the best Joker, but I mean, as far as what Frank is talking about, Jack Nicholson.
I want to get a.
Jack Nicholson was a freaking piece of work.
I want to get
yes,
the whole room to answer
Tony
this.
Hinchcliffe looks like a Joker character.
Yes.
Looks
Who?
like the Arkham Asylum Joker.
Who was the worst Joker? And this is for me personally. Who do you think was the worst Joker so far?
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto,
Who do you think, Frank?
for sure.
The worst who?
Joker. Yeah.
I haven't even seen the Jared Leto one. I hate him anyway, so I'm gonna go with Jared Leto.
I've hated him since
I wanna
Fight
look-
Club.
I want to look at the camera because my wife's in love with his pretty eyes.
Yeah.
She
I
thinks
saw him
I don't
fat.
like him as Joker because of the fact that it's him and I'm jealous of him. Dude, he is so
That's the
bad.
Joker. That's Tony Hinchcliffe.
He looks
Joker.
like
does look
Arkham
like-
Asylum Joker.
What else is he in?
He's
he does
just
look
a
like
stand-up
Arkham.
comedian.
He does look like
He's
the
like a
Arkham one.
new stand-up comedian.
And I heard Arkham Asylum
Saw him
is
live.
supposed to eventually pull into
Gay
this
porn.
like he's been crazy the whole time, meaning Batman. Did you read that?
Well, it's supposed to be about his origin. That's when Joker is supposed to start up. I haven't heard nothing about Batman.
But Jared Leto was so. Remember his laugh? What is that?
How did it sound again?
I just
Record
remember
that
how
for the-
gay he looked in
Oh,
the
it's
Dallas
recorded.
Fire Club.
I didn't
Yeah.
watch that one.
That's a good movie
That was
though.
about
He
gay dudes,
literally
right?
played a gay guy dressed up like a girl.
Yeah, but he
Jared
lost
Leto?
like 40 pounds for
Oh, it
that
was
role.
gross.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He's a great character actor.
Yeah, but what's the dude that did in Sons of Anarchy? You know what I'm talking about? He dressed up like the trainee hooker, and he was an okay dude.
I don't know about that one. I really don't
Am
know
I
about
not
that
allowed
one.
to say that? Are you trying to turn me
No,
off?
Him. Turn him off.
Oh,
Oh, he's eating chips in it.
Oh.
No, I don't know. I don't know about the Sons of Anarchy one. Are you sure you're not getting it mixed up with Jared Leto?
no, it's not Jared Leto.
Because he did Dallas Buyers Club with Matthew McConaughey, and they both, for the role, they were supposed to.
It was the same dude in
imitate having
Justified.
AIDS. Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
I know exactly
You're
what you're talking
right. The transsexual dude. He was funny. In Justified, he's awesome too.
And everyone likes to forget when Robin Williams dressed up as an old lady. Rocked it hard, dude.
Oh yeah.
He rocked it
That
hard.
was-
Yeah,
That was a
everybody acts
great-
that like we were against that. We were for
Hello.
that back then.
Eddie Murphy played 14 different people in one movie.
oh
true.
my gosh. Coming to America.
Dr. Doolittle.
Yes, dear.
Was it Dr. Doolittle?
Yes.
Meet the Clumps and
Oh.
Nutty Professor. all of
Nutty,
them.
it was Nutty Professor. Nutty
Tell me-
Professor.
Meet the
You know
Clumps.
they worked.
was
he
from
worked
the
it out.
first the blackface movie, the one. Oh gosh, no, I can't be left saying the blackface one. But remember the one where they're pretending that they're in the army and they're actually end up being in a war.
Oh, that you're talking about
In the army now?
You're talking
Pauly
about
Shore?
the meme you just shared that had what's that guy's name? Ben Stiller
Yeah.
and
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
Tropic,
where he-
Tropic
Thunder.
Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna leave it at that. It's Tropic Thunder, everyone. Anyways,
I'm
Robert
the
Downey.
dude playing the guy
Could you
trying to be
imagine
another
if Robert
dude.
Downey Jr. did that now?
God, he was the best black guy too.
He was.
What do you mean, you people?
Do you know? There's a handful of people that can pull that off.
Oh, he is
He
amazing.
did it,
at
man.
A
But look,
handful
there's
of
a
people.
redemption. There's a redemption story.
Dude, that was like his first thing back, wasn't it?
Iron Man was.
I don't know if that
first
was
stuff.
before Iron Man or not.
No, I think he had done Iron Man.
the first Iron
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
So he was like,
He was untouchable.
yeah, he was
Booty
safe.
sweat.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Busting up
And
bars.
I know people hate on Tom Cruise a lot though, but that was pretty damn big of him to take that role.
Dude, he was legit in that role.
That was pretty damn big of him.
Dude, how funny was he when he's doing it?
That's what I'm trying to say.
I was
but again,
cracking up.
Only certain people could pull that off because you could have had
'Cause he's
anybody could
batshit
have
crazy,
done that
too.
role. Anybody could have done that role, but to have that impact, like, because it's
Top
Tom
Gun.
Cruise.
Top Gun's coming out again. You guys
I
know
know.
this?
I feel like he gets a bad rap because
Maverick.
he's a good actor. I watched Rain Man the
great
other day.
actor.
Rain Man, he was excellent. Like, he was actually really good in that movie.
I like most of his movies. Most
Who?
of them, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Most of his movies
I
are
thought you were
pretty
talking
damn good.
about what's his name that
I mean,
actually
they're-
played Rain Man.
I like
Dennis
him,
Ho-
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him too.
So it took me until watching that just the other week to realize why it was called Rain Man. Does anybody else know why it was called Rain Man? Yeah, we're all stupid. So the reason it was called Rain Man is his name was Raymond. And when Tom Cruise was
Raymond.
younger, before they took him to the home, he would call him Rain Man because he didn't know how to say Raymond. And I'm sitting there watching the movie, and I'm like, oh, my God.
It
How
fucking
did I
hit you
not
like a
catch-
ton of bricks. You're
Yeah.
like, God.
I
I've been
thought it
watching
was
this.
because that motherfucker made it rain in the casino.
337 toothpicks. Definitely.
Gotta get
Alright.
my underwear at Kmart, definitely.
But-
Yeah, definitely Kmart.
But crediting the same movie, isn't that the same movie where you credit, where you don't go full retard?
Yeah,
Right?
that is.
the same one.
What was
Simple
it?
Jack.
Simple Jack.
I just shared that one too.
You never go full
Where
retard.
Miley Cyrus
You never
looked
go
just like
full
Simple
retard.
Jack. Can't come back from that.
I need.
Is that a real tweet that she said that another
Probably
person that
not.
shares this with me? Oh, it looked.
There's all sorts of
Legit.
fake ones where they're.
Yeah.
It's just like the
I've seen a lot of fake Trump ones.
the Steve Harvey one with the Mr. Potato Head.
And the mixing up the winner. I've seen one like that where he mixes up the winner of.
Well, he actually did that.
That
'cause
happened.
He
Oh,
fucked
I
up.
know. I know that literally happened.
That was a real deal.
All right.
He's probably got his finger constantly on
No,
yours to
I
cut you
hear
off.
just hear everything he does. Yeah.
We need a new board that just has a fucking kill
A
switch.
dump bucket.
Just
a
a
dump bucket.
dump.
Yeah.
Mute Frank.
And off in a sort of a sad story. Demi Lovato.
Yeah, but you knew
hospitalized
that was
following
gonna.
apparent drug
Let me
overdose.
throw a shout out to my wife because she keeps up with pop culture. That's where I know about all this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Is
Sure.
so the other day she goes, and I don't know who G-Eazy was with, but he's with Demi Lovato now.
I don't know who any of these people
You don't know
are.
who G-Eazy is?
No.
He's a white rapper. Looks like a. He's got that slick back hair. Looks like he should be on a Harley somewhere riding around. But he's actually a decent rapper. But anyways, he's big into drugs. He was with another girl. He
No
got with
way.
Demi. My wife goes, and Demi was big anti-drug. Like no one could do drugs on like anything on her tour bus,
It
whatnot.
was like 10 years ago.
yeah, and then
Because it
he
was a
gets with her.
Disney tour bus.
Yeah. So he gets with her. My wife goes, "You watch. She's gonna fall off the wagon now." Not even 3-4 days later, you hear about this.
Hey,
Did she die?
No.
did anybody else, the first thing I thought,
Why is
well,
that sad news? She didn't die.
Well, listen.
She's just fucking stupid.
It's just sad to
We're
see
not
somebody
wishing
go.
anybody's death.
No,
But the first question
Our
I asked,
popularity
If you're
is
gonna-
going down.
If you're gonna try heroin, you're probably gonna die.
Is that what she did?
I was talking to somebody and they're like, "Oh my God, you hear Demi Lovato OD'd on heroin?" First thing I said was, "Dead or alive?" Oh, no, she's alive. And then the second thing I thought was, I didn't have a big chance to begin with, but now that I know
You're
she's a
saying
junkie,
There's a chance.
I have a little bit more of a chance to bang her.
Well, it's not.
Oh my
a-
gosh.
It's,
That's what you think
it's
when something
good.
like this happens?
Oh, I've been tracked drug problems,
Yeah.
single mother,
It's good that she.
Daddy issues.
daddy issues.
If our souls had a color, yours would be black.
It's
Like,
good that she made it
deep,
through. It's sad the fall from grace.
dark.
Basically, is what I mean. The fall from grace is big. Fall from grace.
Well,
When somebody
here's the deal
overdoses
too.
on
I
it.
think any of us, if any of us here at the table, because I know all of you pretty well, we're in a situation where we had or came into a lot of money. I think like long-term drug problem is really low on our list. No,
No, not even close.
Like- me.
that's what I'm saying. It's not even a chance that it's gonna happen.
I mean, I can't imagine the stress and they go through it. Listen, when those
No,
people
that's
become
bullshit,
famous,
man.
when they become famous, there's nothing but
It's a choice.
Look.
people up their ass all day
It's a
long.
choice.
Whether it's people that hate them,
Oh, sure.
whether it's fans. I mean,
Well, what
a-
about all the people that are super famous and do a fucking great job?
I watch a guy that live streams. Let's say.
Of course you watch
I've
a
seen a couple of
dude.
his videos where he live streams. He walks around all day with his phone like that. Okay, and he sits down in a restaurant, and they're calling the SWAT team on him. They're swatting him.
For what?
Just saying that there's a bomb in the building. Let's say he's at an Italian restaurant. They'll call the Italian restaurant and they'll say there's a person with a bomb in the building. He's going to kill
That's
everybody.
illegal.
They call and
What is he? He's of Arab
37
descent?
times it's
So-
happened to him.
Okay. He walks free because no big deal.
Right.
Those people that called in the threat get arrested because it's searchable.
I
Not
still
when-
don't think
not
winning
when-
the lottery
with the
would turn
internet
me
now.
to a heroin addict.
So okay, you're that rich and you don't have a super sick ass disguise.
True.
I would have the most.
Bro, the best disguise ever. Ball cap and a pair of glasses. No one knows who the fuck you
Unabomber.
are.
Like a Unabomber.
Yeah. It's a dang Unabomber.
Everybody in
Which,
Hollywood
did you ever
does it.
watch that movie that wasn't even him? Did you hear about that? The sketch artist did 2 sketches. That was the one they rolled with the person that
That's
was
probably
saying.
a better sketch.
You guys feel
yeah,
like
it wasn't the guy.
the Hollywood women, like that's their excuse for getting fat when you see them in the tabloids. They're like 20 pounds heavier than they should be. They're like, I got the best disguise ever. I'm going to gain 20 pounds and people are going to be like, you're not the real Britney.
You know what I do get upset
That's what
about?
I did.
I get upset about when you hear about all the stuff of celebrities saying they're so upset because they have to maintain a physical appearance. That is your whole job, and you created that stereotype. Like,
Yeah, but
as
some
a
might not
society.
get jobs because of it.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say this. If you see me on the video, I am definitely not skinny. So if you wanted to be different than that, then be different than that. But don't preach in a L'Oreal commercial that your skin's supposed to be perfect, and then on the other hand say, I can't believe that I have to have perfect skin. Come on.
I want to chime in right there on the L'Oreal commercial. Did you see the most recent one?
No.
She's wearing a hijab.
Who is it? Famous chick?
No,
Doesn't that cover your face?
covers your whole fucking head, or in a
That'd
hair
be bad
commercial.
for like Pert Plus.
Well, it's fucking L'Oreal. It's a hair It's a hair product.
I don't think L'Oreal's
Oh,
hair.
L'Oreal's makeup.
Yeah.
No, you're fucking kidding me, dude.
What?
It's hair dye and hair products. It's everything.
It might be.
I don't know. I don't wear it.
We have a
don't need
professional
fucking
in
hair.
the
claim-
building.
I don't know.
L'Oreal Paris.
Yeah. So Tara is our professional when it comes to this. We're gonna figure
We
this
need
out
to get
right
our
now.
statistician.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Hey Tara.
L'Oreal, is that hair stuff?
And makeup too, right? Yes. So it's everything. So Matt's right. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense for the hairline.
We have the whole crew coming here.
Everybody's
now.
in here.
Yes.
If you can see it on video, I think you might.
Okay, so L'Oreal
Yeah.
is makeup, is hair stuff, and all that. And they have a new commercial, Matt says, with the person wearing a what?
Is it hijab or hijab?
Oh, a Muslim person?
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Tara.
So we're gonna have to edit that out.
No, why? It's
A
Muslim.
person of Arab descent.
No,
Not
they're Muslim.
racist. Yeah, they're Muslim.
Is it Islamic or is it Muslim?
I feel like you have to tiptoe around everything.
It's Muslim. There, you don't.
You know what you have to tiptoe around? Dog shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Frank must have stepped in dog shit recently
I
when he
did.
came down the stairs.
I did. Not at the house. I was cutting the
Thanks,
grass.
statistician.
In
Oh,
these
very
shoes.
beautiful
And to be
today.
honest with you, all I did was rinse off my shoes and my feet. So I probably still have poop particles
I know.
On John's carpet.
on John's carpet.
And he's not listening,
We're
but he's
all
gonna
over the
listen
map
to it
today.
I
later.
jumped in a pool, so there's like 10 people.
Hey,
in
the
there,
funny
pink
thing
eye.
is he was preoccupied and heard none of that.
It's fine.
Where'd you jump in a pool? Where'd you step in dog shit and jump in a pool at?
I stepped in dog shit at my house, and then jumped
left
in
it.
Janet's mom's pool.
Why are you
okay.
the guy that steps in dog poo and then jumps in a pool?
I mean, there was
Frank-
like an hour in
clean
between.
clean his feet off.
I rinced it off.
And
with
then
the
he-
hose.
Frank's like,
Then
do I
then he
wash my
swallowed
feet?
the
No, I'm
water
going
and
swimming.
spit it out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. That's also why I didn't take a shower.
All right. On a
Like
sad,
that lady shaving her legs in the pool.
getting
That's
real
Frank.
now.
He's washing.
I do have a death to report though, and this one is very sad.
You
I
told me
bet-
about this earlier.
bet
I
you
have
it's
no
not.
idea who you're talking about.
This is sad. What?
I bet you it's not.
Okay. As childhood of mine, I watched a lot of wrestling, and this person was a part of it because Hulk Hogan beat him many times. Nikolai Volkov
Does
is
anyone know who that is?
now deceased.
Oh.
God, if the show had a freaking eject button.
Right out that window.
Ejectocito, cuz.
Nikolai Volkov was the wrestler that would always come out and sing the Russian national anthem, and then Hulk
Why are
Hogan would
you
come out
fucking
with his flag
inspiring?
and
Look, guys,
And
this
beat
is
him up.
John's thing, right? Let's give him. Let's
beat
give
him
this
up.
to him.
Let's
all
give
right?
him his 5 minutes.
John, do your thing. Just know that we're not listening. But go
so
ahead.
Nikolai, thanks for the entertainment.
So I know
He's fucking
maybe-
dead. Why are you thanking him?
Thank his,
His
family.
spirit. Yeah, hey, Nikolai's family, thanks for the entertainment.
There you go.
What'd he die of?
Look.
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Old age, of course.
Yeah, he's old.
If he was fighting Hulk though, Hulk's only in his 60s.
Well, he was older.
So what if he was like 70 and lived a life of steroids?
Hulk's hanging in there.
He's hanging.
What?
He's hanging by a dingleberry.
What was the really tall guy?
Speaking of N-words.
The Giant?
Yeah,
Andre the Giant.
Well,
he
Andre the
died
Giant.
too, right?
Andre the Giant died, yeah, because
Yeah.
Giantism.
Yeah. How tall was he?
They don't live long.
He was only like 7 foot, 7'2".
Only.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him dunk
Oh,
a
there you-
basketball.
They talk like
I'd like
he's-
to see Shaq shoot some free throws.
Yeah, but he wasn't. It wasn't just his
Neither
height.
it's gonna happen.
He had the giantism. So he had like the like elongated features.
Yeah, yeah.
What's his name? The
Anybody want a peanut?
no, who's the guy? He's like Middle
You want
Eastern.
some of this,
isn't he?
Hulk?
Oh, Kali, the great Kali, yeah.
Kali.
He's giant.
That's giantism, correct? Like
Yeah.
the really long, weird hands, the long bony legs.
Yeah, we're gonna have to delete this whole episode.
No, this is fine. People like this.
I mean, there are people that do watch wrestling.
They're
and
the same
stuff like
people that get boners when they watch gay porn.
Yeah.
Just right. Well, there's a lot of people that do, but they don't claim to be straight.
That's fine.
No, dude. It's 2018. You can be whatever you
You
want
can
to
be
be.
whatever the fuck
Yeah.
you want. You can
You
be a
whatever you
butterfly.
want. Wanna
You
be a
can be a
wrestler?
Oh,
butterfly.
did you hear about the guy that switched his gender on his car insurance and saved a bunch of money?
You can do that.
You do.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you switch it to?
My car insurance
Female.
is under terror.
Really?
Yeah.
My car
At how
insurance is under
old? Because
terror.
females get
Cut my bill
worse
in half.
insurance than guys do.
Get out
No.
of here.
No. Women get better insurance.
Say you had a Corvette or something like a high insurable. You're gonna fucking crash it. A Mustang, you're crashing into people. Yeah, I identify as a woman,
No
well,
proof.
It's
not an Asian woman because
it's
they're
a
terrible
secret.
drivers.
Yeah.
It's a secret, but put your insurance under your wife's name. Bam.
I've been thinking about something
Shit'll come
since the
down.
episode when we talked about it because you never elaborated. Was there really somebody that claimed that they were a helicopter?
Yeah, it's one of the designations on the chart,
A
the
helicopter.
ever-growing chart. It's a attack helicopter.
So
They
remember
are-
Step Brothers where he's like, I always wanted to be a raptor when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom said, you ain't getting no dang raptor.
Dude, there's people who identify as like animals.
Yeah, I could see that, but a helicopter?
How could you see that? In what fucking world are you a cat?
You know what those people are that
Have
identify?
you seen people on YouTube?
Sure,
It's
but
a
they're
mental
still
illness.
Freaking people.
All of it's in mental illness.
There are people that are still children. You know who
they
identifies
can
with
identify as a
horses?
child.
My niece identifies with a horse.
That's what I'm
She
saying.
thinks she's a horse when she's playing.
A horse.
Not when she's a 30-year-old person.
So
Goes
these are
running
the same
around the
people
house
that should
whinnying.
lose their rights as adults.
It's
Yes.
kind of like that My Strange Addictions
These
thing.
are the type of people that shouldn't be allowed to vote. That's for sure.
Like the lady that eats dryer sheets.
Yeah, and then like the one that thinks it's a baby and like acts like a baby in a
Oh.
crib.
There's the woman that eats mattresses. Where was that from? You remember that?
Yeah, I saw
I
She
that.
see.
ate
Yeah,
her
yeah.
fucking mattress.
The biggest ice cream sandwich in the world.
And the doctor's like, when they do the show, they're so worried about their feelings. Like they're like, this could really be bad for your health. Or you could say,
You're eating
an
fucking
idiot.
foam."
You're eating a couch.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the saying. So you know why? Because they get sued. People always get sued.
Yeah.
Doctor
Speaking
says
of that,
you're not allowed to do that. You're gonna get sued.
John's getting sued. John's running the show.
yeah, just to let you know, if you're offended by anything on here, John is our producer.
Sack up.
Yeah.
Get in line.
Or you could just do us a favor and don't
But
fuck
you-
us up and our
You
money.
can't
and
squeeze
can go
blood
just
from a
not
rock,
watch
as
us.
they say.
Yeah.
God, he's back to those dumb things again.
Gee golly.
You can't run over a
Golly.
trick with a doodle.
I realized how like, I guess, I don't know.
Can't
right
jump in
word,
the pool with
but
a toaster.
I guess you could say
Or poo on your foot.
how pure Kevin is, or how Kevin's been when he was shielded as a child and was raised, because like you say good proper words every time you curse. You're like, I can't believe I cursed. on
I
the
think
show.
I've only cursed
I'm not
once on the
doing it.
podcast.
I'm
That-
not doing
that's
it
3
ever
lashings.
again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Southern Republican.
So you.
Well, I did go to 9 years of Christian school and
Here you
got
are.
asked to leave in 8th grade.
So here you are being all proper, and at the end of the show last week, Frank's like, "Sorry, Mom and Dad."
I really do feel bad because they're like the biggest supporters of anything that I do, which makes them great parents. But they do have to listen to me talk about shit that I'm too
Dicks
embarrassed.
and gay porn.
I don't listen to our own show because I'm terrified of what I've said.
Would you sit and listen to it with your parents?
No.
I think we should video that.
I think there are other things that I would rather do more uncomfortable
think-
things.
That's just mean.
Yeah, I don't think my parents would be shocked, or his parents would be shocked, or
Where-
I think your mom might be shocked.
Where were we?
No,
Somebody
actually,
was
you know
asking
what?
about it, and Matt's like, "Don't tell them how to find it." Grandma was asking,
Trying to get people. I was like, don't.
"No, don't tell Grandma."
No.
Yeah, Grandma's trying to tell people at church. listen
Yeah,
to
the pastor.
Oh my
the
God.
podcast.
She told me she was going to tell the pastor, you guys' pastor.
Don't do that.
No, well, I don't go
Yeah,
to church, so we're
he
good.
likes-
Why not?
Page.
And we're the ones that go to church, and here's Kevin.
Yeah.
Gee golly.
See, here's the thing.
jeepers.
That's the other thing about church too, right? So you go, therefore, there's more opportunity to be, criticized, scrutinized. If
Why?
you don't go, got nothing to lose.
You know what's funny though is people would think it'd be my mom that would be like really worried about this stuff. My mom's a lot more like me than you think, except much nicer, of course. But my dad would be more, I think, offended faster than my mother would. Like my mother is just, I don't want to throw her under the bus, but my mom's pretty cool. My dad's cool too, but my mom is like,
Calling her cool is not throwing her under the bus.
I stopped because it
Oh.
could be
Well,
misinterpreted.
it could be taken the wrong way,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You don't want anybody to think your mom's.
But
as
if
big of an
Morgan
asshole
ever
as we
comes
are.
on, have you ever seen the movie where the wife goes, they call me Kitty Cat, like that?
Yes.
Yeah. So my mom's nickname is Cat.
Wedding
Stifler's
Crashers.
mom.
Wedding Crashers.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not Stifler's mom. It's
Oh,
Wedding
yeah,
Crashers, the
yeah.
hotter
Where
one.
she pulls her boobies
Yeah.
out.
They call me Cat.
So my mom calls herself Cat, which for some reason in my mind when I hear Cat,
Her name
I
is
hear-
Kathy.
I hear Well, I in my mind
Not
I hear
unusual.
I hear
You did the
Kitty
motorboat.
Cat, like
you did
that.
the motorboat, didn't you? You motorboat son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You.
But that's what goes through my head, and it's my mother, and it freaks me out. I don't know. She's in front of me and people, and she's like, "Call me Cat," and I'm like, "No, don't call her Cat. Like that's giving me paranoia. Like
No,
this
it's
is weird.
worse is when she tells people call her Cat, and then like we'll walk in and be like, "What's up, kitty?"
I will throw up on the
What
floor.
movie was that from? That '70s show?
I don't know.
Yeah,
The
Do
kid.
they call her Kitty?
And she was on the ranch. They brought everyone back.
Oh,
Except for the
The redhead's
yeah.
on there, right?
No, she's
Whoa.
in the prison lesbian sex show.
she is. Yep.
And then the little nerdy dude is the only one that come
Well,
back.
wasn't there a Me Too thing against freaking what's his name now? That's something that.
Well,
I thought I heard.
hashtaggers? I'm sure.
No, what's his name? Who's a curly head?
Fez?
No,
Danny, what's his name?
I don't know
Masterson?
real names.
Yeah, I think it's Danny Masterson is his real name.
Yeah, there was like a Me Too thing. I'm surprised that
The American
that
Pie
the next
guy?
episode came out.
You talking about the
No.
American Pie guy?
No, the curly-headed fuck
Curly head. Hi.
from that 70s show.
Oh,
and from like Malcolm
yeah.
in the Middle and stuff.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah, he's
there's
the
some-
brother on the ranch.
Yeah.
That's a good show, by the
Fucking
way.
Ashton.
There's a Me Too on everybody.
Yeah.
No.
Pound,
He's cool,
Pound
though.
me too.
Yeah. All these people didn't mind doing things to move up the ladder in their stardom, but once the well dried up, then they remembered what happened to them.
Anybody else have a few exes that you could think of that, like, if I was a millionaire or famous right now, that I'd have a couple Me Too's going on?
Just you, Frank.
Just me?
yeah.
All
No,
right.
but about that thing, Ashton Kutcher's actually pretty cool about all his stuff. Did you hear when he gave the speech to the kids at the Nick Awards? Like he's like, you got to work hard. Nobody's gonna give it to you. And like he gave a full on like a good speech. You should look at it. Like
Same
he-
with the Pratt dude. He's good too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
He's
speech
married
he
to my
gave-
girlfriend.
That speech he gave at the MTV Awards, was it? Was probably.
I don't watch
rolling-
that shit.
It was pretty good. It was really good. Would you like me to find it for you?
No,
He's
because
the
you're
man.
probably gonna fuck it up.
Chris
Probably.
Pratt's the man because he is a fat dude that got skinny and now he's like,
Bro, he didn't get skinny for one, and two, he's cool as shit because he can fucking train a velociraptor.
Yep.
yeah. Did you see
You
the
can
funny
train a
guy thing about the
velociraptor.
Velociraptor?
No, I saw the
You can
thing they're
father my
trying. They
children.
said within 5 years they could have real dinosaurs again.
That's a bad mistake.
And it's like
That is,
there's
yeah.
4 movies
Have they
explaining
not
why
watched-
not to do that.
By
Have you not
then there'll
watched
be
any of the
7.
movies?
But
Yeah.
then there'll be 7 movies.
Exactly.
And I'm going to sit there and I'm like, no,
It's
nobody
still a
else.
bad idea.
Why do
guys.
you keep fucking touching all that?
Hey, what is it called when
I
you have
want
an
it up
animal
here.
that's like it's not there as you're seeing guide dog or whatnot, but it's like there for you emotionally?
Service animal.
Well, emotional service animal. Watch the
Emotional.
Funny or Die thing with Chris Pratt, and he brings in a velociraptor. It's pretty funny.
Well, with that, Kevin, you have really brought us to the end of the show. Kevin,
Aw, I got it this week.
Kevin, you got it this week, buddy. So that's going to be it for today, guys. We thank you. Thank you for
Let's
listening.
wrap this thing
I
up.
hope you enjoyed all of our little special guests that came in throughout the show.
All my children.
Yeah, all of Matt's
I think you can't say that, right?
spawns.
I didn't
If they
say
all wanna
about
come
the
in and
soap
say,
opera. Those
if they
are
all-
all my children.
If they all want to come in and say goodbye, they're welcome
No,
to.
let's
But they
wrap
need to
it
get
up.
dressed.
Eject.
Wrap it up.
With that, guys, we're out of here. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. Check us out at ordinaryguyshow.com.
John didn't pay the bills.
We have your bills to pay. We already paid them.
Venmo.
So instead of asking for advertisements, he just tells us to give him $37.
Yeah. He didn't actually buy anything with it. He just kept it.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Check out our description for social media links. And make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us each and every week. See you next time.